So to create a website in Netlify after the configuration is done, it's pretty easy. The first thing that you need to do, of course, after configuring is go into theme, okay, and then you go to settings. Actually, it's a setting thing, and we need to select a theme. Until you have a theme, nothing happens. So we're going to use the one that I love, because this is still not yet a theme verification or testing, right? So we're going to do tech news. Now, tech news is a very interesting theme. We're going to see it in a second why it's so cool, but it's pretty normal, and we're going to do a couple of things. First, we're going to turn on the non-index website. We're not going to do that. We don't care if Google indexes or doesn't indexes the website. And here on the first of SEO, search engine optimization, you have a couple of features. So first of all, it's my blog site name. So I'm gonna say my blog test, and that's gonna be a page title, the front page title. We of course can add meta description, although I've seen that Google tends to ignore the meta description in case it thinks that there is something better to put in the description of your site and search results. So I'm not bothering with that at all. Meta robots, we don't care about the robots. We want everything to be crawled. After all, we're doing a semi-production site, right? So we're gonna do it for real. Now, post page would be post title and site name. I'm okay with that. Tag is tag name, site name for people that would like to click on a tag cloud, for example, or just a tag on your website, and they just want to see what's going on behind it, right? Behind this tag, how many posts there are. So that's gonna be the tag page. Of course, you can also ask no index and follow for the robots, but you don't care. Author is exactly the same. Error page, well, here you can edit some error related stuff. And of course, we have the delete website option. Now, we're not done yet. Now we go to URLs and we say, yes, let's use pretty URLs. Now, pretty URLs, this is something that you see all over websites in the internet. And basically, it's post HTML. This is not a pretty, but the pretty one is actually post slash. And why it's important? Well, first of all, it's just a little bit more room for the strings in your site. Some people just remember sites, and it's clearer. It shows that you actually care about your website, both to users and both to search engines that might consider the complexity of your website, and it just looks cleaner. So we're gonna use pretty URLs. And the way it does it, basically, you have the HT access of your website generated, and it will just have those settings inside. You can do it manually, but who wants to do it? Okay. Now always add, no, we do tag prefix, author prefix, we don't like to do that. Now we'll save settings. Okay, as you see, tag prefix is going to be tag. As you see, it can be empty, and yeah, so we're going to fix that. Probably they'll change it. Sitemap, everything is fine over here. Always have your sitemap. It's crazy. I used to run two websites. One of them was a technical site with tons of content. I just disabled it about a few weeks ago because I stopped caring about those specific issues that I was covering over there. But when I was building this website about 2 years ago, it took Google about a month before I appeared in search results, even when I was looking for myself. So, and it was a WordPress site, so you needed to know what you're doing, and that's really helpful over here. But of course, there is another feature that would allow your site to be indexed faster. And actually, my I read help files, which was created 3 weeks ago, got into search in about 1.5 weeks with practically zero content. So it is pretty powerful that we're going to see, and we're going to see what's up with that. Now, Open Graph, if I remember correctly, this is for the Facebook. Yeah, Facebook App ID. So basically, if somebody is going to share your post or something, Open Graph deals with how this content is structured and presented on Facebook. Otherwise, it lets Facebook to decide what's important and what's not, and sometimes it would just grab the wrong image, and then your post is not really worth much over the media. So Twitter is practically the same thing, but just their own settings. Now, AMP is accelerated mobile pages, which is completely fine if you want the mobile pages to load faster. And I know that Google is very, very strict on the importance of the mobile pages. The mobile device optimization, it was like 2 or 3 years ago, they just doubled down on it and told everybody that, okay, guys, you need to start caring about the mobile stuff because, users are going to browse from phones. And who knew it happened? And yeah, so this is very important. Now, GDPR cookie banner. This is the pop-up that you have on the website. Like we use cookies, and in some countries it's very important to post it, but it just deals with. I mean, if you have a membership area or something or a shop, definitely put it there. But other than that, why do you care? What kind of cookie would you gonna put on a user's browser if they don't have a personal session with you, like a login or something? So we don't care about that, but also need to know that not all themes support this feature, right? Website speed, of course, HTML compression, we like that. Enable CSS, yeah. So compression, basically, if you have a normal outline of HTML, it just compresses it into a single line of text or something along those lines, and it's just easier for browsers to read, but impossible for humans to read. And there are websites that would convert it for you and convert it back into a readable state. And some things like Notepad++ has this built in already, I think, right? HTML comments version, yeah. We don't care about JSON and post listing. It's just what is the ordering. So we're gonna save and preview. And the preview works on your local browser and on your local computer. It doesn't post anything to the server just yet. We don't care about that, not too much, because we won't test it out before we actually publish. I mean, why drive your site crazy if you can see what's going on with it on your local computer and the copies are identical between the two? So test I read, this is the outline of website. It doesn't look like much. We have search, which would not work just yet. We need to fix that, and we're gonna do that in just a sec. So we are going now to the next portion of it. Of course, oh, by the way, if you have a need for custom HTML or custom CSS. For example, I like the numbering on my pages to go 1A on the second level, and third level is going to be Roman numerals, smaller cap, and then at the end of it, probably just gonna switch back to numbers or something. And all of this, practically all websites by default support uh, just digits on all levels. So we're gonna just use some custom CSS over here. I just have it prepared and I used it so many times already. So it's gonna be just like that. Right, so I'm gonna put it here, put your custom CSS code over here. And that's it. It's just the ordered list and unordered list, right? So we're gonna save the changes. And then we go to theme. Oh, I forgot to tell about the tools. You have WordPress importer. So if you want to move back, just do it. Now, regenerate thumbnails, it would be requested of you every time you change something with the layout of your website. There will be a pop-up that says, well, do regenerate thumbnails, because thumbnails are generated with the site settings in mind. But if you want to do it manually, just over here, and you can do some backups. For example, if you want to work across several computers, or just have a backup in the cloud of your website, because losing a static website is also a thing that can be done. All right, so we're going to the theme setting, and theme setting is pretty easy. So we have posts per page, and this is how many posts it shows. And you can go crazy with static website because they're so freaking fast. You don't need to consider yourself, well, if we're gonna post 50, if we're gonna put 50 pages on the front page, how fast is it going to load, how fast is it going to be generated. I just don't want to stress it. You don't care about this stuff on static websites, just go and do it, right? And just go for tag posts, authors, if you have multiple authors. Now, accept length, well, it doesn't apply to the theme that we chose, but it's the amount of characters. Now, website logo is something that is pretty useful, right? And okay, yeah, website logo. You know what? We're not going to use this at all. We're going to use something really small. So I'm gonna use, this is going to be the size of it, just to make a point. So it would go into your, you know what, save and preview. Let's see how each change actually affects us. So we put a logo, and previously there was text over here, and now there is an oversized image. Big like, not. But we don't care about that. We'll just remove the image and keep the text. So it has two options, either text or a website logo. Now, it's not a feature of Publii, it's a feature of this particular theme. So every theme would have completely different approach to what it shows. So some of them would show an image and a text. Some of them would just show text if there is no image, and an image if there is an image at all. Now, main column white. Now, this is a very interesting thing for me. So this is the column white, right? And if you prefer to have a full width website, or you want to have a normal ratio between the sidebar and the main section, now you can play with it. Now, how do you play with it? Basically, you can play with REM, and REM is a unit of size compared to text. So if you have main text size on a page, the REM units would be how many times this text size it's gonna occupy. So the main section would be 46 characters probably of REM. Now REM is not the smallest unit. It's you don't look at it like that. There is a specific unit, and the text that you see on the screen is a fraction or a multiplication of this unit. So in order to verify it, you just need to right click and view source of your website to figure out what it is. But this is the REM unit. So we don't really like that. We want to use pixels, or we want to use percentage. Now, important, if you have a full, let's say 80% and 20%. Now, what it means for us, and you know what, let's just see the effect with our own eyes. So your page on a screen is 100%, right? Now, it means that the website would occupy 100% of your screen size. Now, what we wanted to do is control actually the ratio between the main content and the sidebar, but not really present the site in full width. Well, you can do it if you want to, but I mean, do you want to really? Probably not. So we're going to consider, okay, well, I want the main content to occupy, let's say, 55%, and the sidebar, let's keep it at 15. All right. So now out of 100%, the main column would be 55 and sidebar 15, and the rest would be just margins. And let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. So nice. Okay, so this is the history. So we are practically on the same terms with the original theme setting, but I see that our right sidebar is a little bit thinner and the content area is a little bit bigger. So we're gonna just keep that. So this is your first setting to do over here. Now, front page layout. And layout is very important if you want to figure out what how your website, the front page, should look like. And the best way to show it is actually to create some posts. You need to have some content. So you have a post editor over here with a WYSIWYG. So we're going to call it test one. And we're going to put some images inside. Now let me see what kind of images I have here. So, okay, so that's going to be in image number one. And fantastic. And we don't care about the contents of the image itself. And lorem ipsum, because why not? Lorem ipsum. Okay, let's copy some lorem ipsum. If you know, that's just okay. What is lorem ipsum? We don't care. Where does it come from? Where's the text? Come on. Okay, you know what? We're gonna copy the what is lorem ipsum. Okay, so we're gonna put some of it here at the end, right? And there is going to be now very important, if you want to copy paste from some place multiple screenshots, it wouldn't work unless this content is online somewhere, so need to take care about that. All right, and you know what, while we edit, so we're gonna save and close test one, and we're gonna create a new post, test two, and let's see how it works. So we are going to say point one, probably it's gonna go in. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's give it some numbering. So this is level 1, right? This is level 2, this is level 3, and this is level 4. Now, why it shows it like that? It's because I modified some of the settings already, and it shows it like here. So, but it's also gonna cascade and go into the actual website. On a default setting, and I don't want to create a new website, but it's gonna be just numbers, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to have a picture. Let's put this picture over here, and it would place the picture exactly where your cursor is. So it's very, very intuitive. Now we want also to have a featured image. So we're gonna drag and drop it from here, and it's not going to work. Well, this is why it's 0.3 version. They're gonna fix it later on. As you see, it's kind of a WordPress management console with all of the stuff, but offline, it's on your own PC. So fantastic. We'll save and close. And we're gonna go to test one. And you know what? I'm going to take another relatively small image, and I'm gonna put it here in the featured image. Right. So we have 2 posts, and we need to create a couple of more. So let's do it fast. So duplicate, and we have another one, duplicate, copy, copy. Fantastic. So we have two post styles with 2 sizes, and we are going to preview our changes. So, and it's gonna relate entirely. Right, so let's delete the lorem ipsum tabs over here. So as you see, it just enlarges the first image, and then the second one is kind of tested automatically, although we did set a preferred image, but probably this is the image that I drag and drop. Now we don't have an image for an author, but this is the first page. And as you see, this is 1, and this is 2. Somewhere over there, there's a test 3, so copy, copy, and okay, the copies don't have a featured image. Let's see why is that. Featured image. Oh, we actually do have, but it doesn't like it. Okay, fantastic. Good testing. We go back to our theme on the layout, and it says 2 columns, 1 and 4. What it means that all of the posts over here below the post number 1 would be showed as 2 columns. Column 1 and column 2. Now, we don't see it really clearly over here because our images don't fit the website style. So if your website has a style and it requires you to have some kind of a rectangle with that would occupy half of the space, you need to accommodate for that in the website settings. But it would be different on another theme. We're dealing only with the documentation theme, I think, or tech block theme, right? Fantastic. So let's change that. We are going to say, you know what? I don't want to feature the latest post at the top because I'm really, really sloppy with my images. That was not, right? And yeah, so I just want to, to have a general outline. As you see, it's relative. So if you have a longer image, it would just push the image below it a little bit further down. So that's test 1 copy and test 2 copy. Okay, so test 1 and test 2 actually don't have featured images. And you know what? We're not going to fix that because we want to see the weaknesses, not just the power of it, right? Fantastic. So this is the layout, and you can send the layout for the tags page and author if you have multiple authors, but you don't really care. Okay, so the sidebar can show featured posts. Now, in order to make a featured post, you need to go to post and click a button that's to say, well, you know what? This is a featured post, right? And it puts a little star over here. So that's the sidebar. Now you can show an image of the featured post if you really want to. If you want to show a date, fantastic. Just do it. And then, of course, if you have custom ads, you can embed those ads. You don't need to do anything dynamic. You can just put it in the sidebar, and in the post, you can embed ads. Everything is fantastic. Follow us would give you all of those features. Now, in order to make it work, you actually need to go to the where is it? follow us here and set up individual links of your accounts. But this feature opens a list of follow us options on the right side, which allows people to just click and follow you, and you can put it on a footer as well. Okay, so do we have a footer over here? No, we don't have a footer color over here, but that's the sidebar, and you can control how many things you like. And for example, I don't want to show authors. It's just sloppy. Why do I need to feature an author on the right pane side? If someone wants to care about the author, we are just gonna create it in a menu above everything else. Colors, primary color of the website. So let's change it to black. Okay, and then we have the heading color and text color. So it's completely fine. Link and hover, pretty standard. Now, those are the fonts, and fonts are set actually in the theme itself. So you are controlling just the site. And as you see, in even the fonts, there are multiplications of the rem unit. So the rem unit is set in CSS of the website itself, and it has nothing to do with the size of your text in general because it's set in rem units. So we're not going to touch it because why? It's just optimized. Okay, the menus. Menu link color, menu hover color. It's important if you, for example, we change the site to black outline. So if we have a menu, we probably want it to stand out. So white color is something that we really want to have. And we don't have a menu yet, but this is the color that we chose. Fantastic. Let's go back here. So search. In order to have search, there are two ways to do it. It says that you can actually have only Google custom search ID, but in the documentation of the website, you would find out that it's not just Google. There's another provider that does it for you, but it crawls your website on a daily basis. And yeah, it's kind of nice. But what you do is basically embed some Google search, and we have a dedicated video for that which discusses the way for you to actually modify, fix the search. Basically, don't forget the asterisk when you configure it, and it's done in a Google Search Console. So we just Google for that. Google custom search, and of course the Publii website has a search related configuration. So somewhere over here, global setting, website setting. Oh, right. There we go. Google custom search. So we just need to follow this procedures. Just it has a small mistake over here when you put your website name. It just says here in the screenshot, right? So they say https www.example.com/*. They don't. They forgot to do it, right? So this is just one of the bugs, and I notified the dev team about that in one of the vlogs. I'm not affiliated at all. I just like the product, but I just wanted to improve because it's so good for me, right? So this is the search. You'll have a ID to post in here. That's a string of letters and numbers, and then the search would work inside of your website. Share buttons. This is for posts. So on every post, you would have a share button in the bottom of it, as you're familiar with most of the internet articles. And here you control which ones are, well, which one of those can be done. And you see it's pretty much up to date. So StumbleUpon closed like 2 or 3 months ago, and they already have it fixed here, right? Then comments, it's the same thing. You go to the Publii website, and there are comments, right? I'm not sure where they are. Maybe, you know what, let's make a search. Comments. Do we have comments? Come on, comments. There we go. Where is it? Comments. Go for it. Okay, so probably it marked it somewhere. Yeah. Website settings, okay, global settings, tips and tricks. Okay, so it doesn't appear over here, but they have a comments section here as well. And basically you go to the, what its name, Discuss, which is a fantastic site. I used to run native comments on a WordPress site, and it was just bad. It was bad. I mean, if you look at it, it's just, so many so much garbage. There are scanners that just find your website vulnerabilities and they just post various comments with just links to their websites with the intent of spamming you, and also have some Google search sweet sauce, right? The secret sauce of a backrub engine, which basically just says how many websites are pointing at your website. So people will hijack it for you. Now, what Discuss does, it actually embeds a really nice customized chat feature for you for free, but people need to authenticate with one of the open IDs, for example, Facebook, Google, I believe Apple or something. I don't even remember. They just change the list, and of course they discuss username itself directly if you really want to. And then people, when they post, they actually authenticate, and it's very secure. So you want to use this in your post. Now in the footer, you can change it to whatever. So we're gonna say awesome. Why? Well, and we're gonna make it bold, and we can we change the text? No, we don't. Okay, and then we can add some follow us buttons or follow this. So let's see how much mess we did in the website. And all of this, of course, is for educational purposes. You can pick and choose what you want, but the idea is, all right, so we ruined that one. And as you see, there are no follow buttons. Why not? Well, those follow buttons are not working because we did not configure them, right? So on follow us, we need to go and say, you go, okay, facebook.com/nothing. Okay, nothing. And then we're gonna say, you know what, linkedin.com/nothing. I just hope that it would save it. So let's save and preview. Let's hope that they didn't put a sanity check on that. Although it would be much appreciated, but for our test, it just would be a disaster. But there we go. So whatever you have configured would pop up here in the share. Now let's see if we have the default sharing on the post. Yes, and this one actually doesn't require anything related to you. It's for the user, so it would be posting on the users their own timeline based on the browser cookies that they have from this website. So we don't care about that, but it looks really nice. I mean, doesn't it look really nice? Nice typography, nice sizing. Not really good with the featured image, and we will need to turn that off, but that's completely fine. So gallery is just setting, so you can create galleries from multiple images in posts. And yeah, it's very easy to do, but here you control them. We're not going to deal with this feature because we need to have a set of images that actually useful in a gallery setting, and it's this website theme is mainly for blogging, tech blogging, so galleries are not a big part of it. But if you would use a portfolio website for photographers, for example, the gallery settings are very important over there. We don't care. Okay, the date format, so you can choose either European, American style. I prefer this date format because it kind of merges between the words, right? Lazy load, of course, it's a very effective in terms of, a site is going really loading really slowly in case there are too much content over it. Although it's not a big concern over the public website or static website. So we're gonna choose a favicon. So it's gonna be a PNG. So it says, well, is it an ICO or a PNG? It's a PNG, right? So save and preview. Let's see what's the next one. Right, so there it loads, and there we have it. We have ourselves a favicon. Do we have it? No, probably we need to post it. We need to post it. But as you see, it changed something. It just doesn't know how to deal with that one. It's particular. Why, Gearhard, PNG? Oh, probably it doesn't know how to deal with them on a local hard drive. So you know what? Let's stop for a second and sync our website to the cloud, right? So we progressed from, oh, come on. Can I? Can I? No, I ruined everything. How I did that? Right. So we went from here to there to here. Then we added some content. Then we set a layout that fits us better. But of course, it's all up to you. We're just showing the options. Then we change it a little bit. The color become black. Now we have it like this, and we added sharing buttons. This is with sharing buttons, but not configured ones, and this one with them. So as you see, it just adds the follow us section, but without the button. So if you don't have anything configured, don't leave this option on, because there would be a follow us thing that kind of does nothing for you, just takes space, looks unprofessional. And then, of course, we have the latest version of it, which is completely fine. So now we are going to sync the website. So you click on sync your website, you click on sync your website once more, and now it's actually going to upload everything to Netlify, and our site would become available under the domain name that we chose. So this would be like a push to production. So as you see, we could modify everything that we wanted before actually going public on the live website. So for example, if you're doing some major modification on your site, you can test it all. You can replicate your site and have an A/B testing on your test domain, and then just move stuff back to your to the main site, and test everything locally without the need for internet connection. I mean, how cool is that? You travel in a plane, you travel on a train, you are just, visiting your grandma, and you have a couple of hours to work on your cool stuff. You don't need the internet for that. All right, so we're gonna visit our website. So let's see, this is our website. Okay, so the domain did not propagate, right? Yes. So we are going to, okay, this is anticlimactic, right? We need to fix that subdomain over here in Netlify. We're not going to deal with that. This is a Publii video. But basically, I'll show you I read help files. Oh, there it is. Right. So this is the main website, and it sits on Netlify, and it just works. Okay. This feature always works. Okay, fantastic. So then we go to post options, and we can control a couple of things. For example, uh, one of the important parts that I like, display author name. You know what? Some people like to display author name. I don't care. I don't care about the author. I gonna care about the author name only if I completely disagree with a person that gives me some outrageous responses in my brain. I would go and check if this person is consistently wrong, and I did it maybe once in the last 15 years, so I don't care about that. Display date, of course, tags, yes, if people want to see more content. Display comment count, this is actually for the main page, which would show how many comments you have on each post. You just add a little tag. Display last updated date, which is completely fine. Really good for Google search engines to see a new date. They think that you changed something. Of course, you need to change enough information inside it so Google wouldn't consider it to be spammy, but at least it indicates that you care about the website, right? Display share bound, display tags. Yes, we can actually say display tags, but it's also, you know what? No. Display author bio. No. Why? Why take some screen space? People don't like screen space. They like efficiency. We're definitely not doing this with this video because I'm talking too fast and it's a very long video, but you know what? We're gonna be okay. Display post navigation, display related post, yes. Display comments disabled. So those are default settings which you can modify per post. But yeah, display comments enabled. This is global. Okay, fantastic. So there we have authors without a picture. And then we have menus. So let's create a menu and we call it main menu. All right, yeah. And it's very similar to what you used to have in WordPress. So this is the menu. And under this menu, you can add menu item. So it's going to be test, and type is going to be post link. So it can find all of the internal pages and, well, not pages, but posts that you created, or author or tags and whatnot. And if you want to have an external link, it's going to be putting the well, you're gonna just insert a URL over here. But if you choose a post or a tag with an author, it would just ask you to select from the menu. So that's pretty cool. So we're gonna put a text separator just to see. All right, yeah, sep one, right? We're gonna separate the two menu items, and we're gonna create another test two, and it's gonna be a post link to this post. And under this one, we're gonna add the sub menu, sub two, and that's gonna be an author, right? and it's gonna be an add menu item. Come on. Oh, right. Okay. Now let's try to add a divider over here. Can we do a divider? Text separator, sorry. I just want to see how it goes. So add the submenu, last one. Last one. All right, so it's gonna be an external link. I read helpfiles.com. Link title attribute, we don't really care. Okay, so preview your changes. And you can have several menus because you know you can have menu on in the right pane or you can have it in the top. And why don't I see it? I have no idea. Where is my menu? So we are going to theme, we are going to layout, and we're gonna find out what went wrong. Show comment, show menu, okay, settings, post of SEO, URL, sitemap, no index, meta robots, high customers, no follow, meta description. Why preview your changes doesn't work? Okay, let's go to theme, layouts. Okay, where's the menu? There's the menu. Okay, sub menu with custom. Do we have? Let's see if it generates what we need from it. Come on, where's the menu? The menu is gone. So probably there is some button that I missed in terms of where's the menu. So, oh, it's unassigned. There we go. Main menu or footer. And that's it. Now we preview our changes. See that's how easy it is. By the way, the posts are not just static. You can mark them as drafts. All right. So this is test one. The separator is just does nothing. So it's basically characters that you put. So I needed to do something else. So you know what? Let's do it on the fly right now. Why not? I just really like. Right. So we're gonna edit that one, and it's gonna be pipe. Gonna be save changes, and this division we are going to make it so save changes, preview your changes. Let's see how it goes. Let's see. Do we like it? Is it good? Yeah, there's the separator and then separator number two. Of course, we could do better job with this separator, probably putting some CSS instead of it, and we'll just merge everything into one line. But it works for me. It works for us. Okay, fantastic. So what remains to be reviewed over here? So we did the menu, we did the post option on the server side. There is nothing to do for us now. Backups, of course, you can create your first backup and it just puts a zip file somewhere on your hard drive in the place that you predetermine in a site setting. And it's just very fine, you know, to have at least sometimes a backup. I use backups in WordPress a lot on my production site, but yeah, and I had to restore them because of the attacks. Probably it wouldn't be an issue over here. And the only concern that I have is that I cannot pull my website from Netlify using Publii, not at least not for now, and continue modifying it on another computer. So in order to have this functionality of modifying the same website on multiple computers, you need to have some kind of a share solution. And in the documentation of Netlify, of the Publii, you have this in tips and tricks, I believe, right? Oh, doc search, that's the alternative engine. Highlight code syntax, also very useful. Newsletter, there we go, using Dropbox. So they have a procedure for using Dropbox for multiple computers, but I think that it's not really limited to Dropbox only. I think it pretty much can be done or using any cloud provider. Just download the client to another computer and import your backup. Or if, for example, if your working directory like is on a synchronized Google Drive, for example, you just access that drive from another computer. It's completely It's completely understandable. The only thing is, if you modify something on a computer that doesn't have the local hard drive synchronized to the cloud, you need to upload your changes to the drive as well. So probably they are dealing with that situation here in this document over here. And that's it. From that point on, of course, we can try out other themes and we can modify various settings here and there, but that's it. Basically, the blog is done. Of course, you need to create some tags in order to add them to post, but this is very, very standard for all blogging platforms, although some of them create tags on the fly from the post. I think, you know what? I think it's even possible to do it right here. So let's do a test. And we have a tag, post tag. No, this is not a tag. This is tag. And the list is empty. So I said, okay, so you can create tags from inside the post. So it's basically all of the standard functionality of a blogging platform is there for us, which is it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I really like this. And I think that's it for the Publii. Nice product, very cool. Probably I missed a thing or two, and you are going to tell me what I missed in the comments. And probably they're going to release a new version tomorrow or something, and my video will become well, let's say outdated, but nevertheless, a really cool tool. I enjoy it a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.